Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you're well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more Reddit stories, and if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too, and let's crack on with today's first story. Much love guys. Now today's first story comes from Few Relative 4595 and says, am I the arsehole here for ghosting my girlfriend after she nearly killed both of us? So my girlfriend, 20 female, and I, 22 male, have been together for a little over 10 months now. We haven't had any heated arguments or fights, except for the fact that she keeps tickling me randomly despite the fact that I've repeatedly told her to never do it again, because I can act strangely to it. Something from my childhood which I won't delve into. Now to get to the current situation. This week I've had my car returned from a paint job and some major look changes. I was really satisfied with the results, so I took a day off from work and took my girlfriend on a short trip outside the city. We drove to a lake, ate some food and relaxed for a couple of hours until it got pretty dark, and we decided to head back home to get some sleep as I had to go to work the next day and she had an exam. On the way home, I started talking about how happy I felt how the paint job turned out, and out of nowhere she starts tickling me. I pushed her hand away and told her to stop. Then she reached my ribs with both hands and got me swerving off the road. Thankfully, nobody was hurt, although my car got some pretty deep scratches, but that doesn't even matter anymore. As I already slowed down after her first attempt to tickle me, I'll admit that I told her, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" as soon as we stepped out of the car, and she started crying, but I couldn't care less as I felt as if my veins were about to pop. When we got home, I told her to pack her things and go to her best friend. But she threw a tantrum and begged me to forgive her for her little mistake. I didn't say a word, I simply stared in disgust and pointed to her luggage. After her friend picked her up, I tried to go to sleep but my mind was racing so I barely got any rest. This happened on Tuesday and she's been blowing up my phone ever since. But I haven't answered any calls or texts and just blocked her. This led to her friend coming to my house and telling me to at least hear my girlfriend out. But I told her to fuck off and leave me alone, which made her tell me that I'm more in love with a car than with my girlfriend. So am I the arsehole in this situation? Should I talk to my girlfriend? I already feel like I can't trust her after what happened and that our relationship can't be fixed. Absolutely not the arsehole in this situation. Distracting a driver in that way is bloody ridiculously stupid. She put both you and other drivers out on the road in danger at the same time, people on the side of the road, who knows? She also damaged your vehicle, your new paint job which you just had, and you said in the very first paragraph that, you've told her repeatedly never to do this because of something during your childhood, and she's continued to do it time and time again by the sounds of it. Absolutely not the arsehole in any way, shape or form. The question does go through my head is like, why? Why the bloody hell would you do this time and time again when you've been told no? But Pete Penguin says not the arsehole, she's a fucking idiot. It wasn't just a little mistake. You don't mess with someone while they're driving, period. You've also told her time and time again not to tickle you and she refuses to respect that boundary, to the point of putting you and everyone on the road around you in danger. She can fuck right off in my opinion. Finally, Dam says, I am a 42 female married. My kids are 11 and 9. I've taught them that they cannot argue and shout in the car to not distract the driver, as all of our lives could be put at risk. The kicker for me was when she did it a second time after you told her to stop. OP, you may have many girlfriends over the years, but you will only have one life. Not the arsehole, my dude. Kick her ass to the curb. Dawn Shaka says, not the arsehole. What your girlfriend did could have ended in manslaughter. And even before that, her tickling you when you told her repeatedly that it disturbs you was abusive and disrespectful. But tickling you while you were driving was insanely cruel and dangerous. I'm sorry, but there is nothing to talk about here. She has shown you what she is. Believe her and don't let her near you. Amazing Cabinet replies that and says, even without the childhood trauma, tickling someone driving a hurtling missile going down the road is so incredibly stupid and dangerous that it shows the absolute immaturity of this girl. She needs to grow up before dating anyone else. It has nothing to do with valuing your car more than your girl. It's valuing your life more than your girl's petty feelings. And one more comment from Slim Fat Boy who says, the last sentence made me so fucking mad. Not the arsehole, is she out of her mind? It wouldn't be a little mistake anymore if you actually sent someone to the hospital or worse, into the grave. This was so fucking dangerous for everybody, and she acts like an idiot about it. And what the hell is the friend's deal? Does she have any rational thinking going on? You dodged a ballistic missile. This woman would have sent you into a coma and still would insist that she did nothing wrong. Take care, man, and stay away from her. You did not overreact at all. So OP came in with an update and says, so the past couple of hours have been insane, honestly. Before the actual update, I just wanted to sort some things out. I've seen people talking about this post being rage bait or fake. Honestly, I wish it was, but I actually needed to hear some opinions on what happened. Some people talked about me having anger issues. This is not true at all. I never snapped at her like this for tickling me, let alone hitting her or anything like this. But in the rage of the moment, I couldn't keep my mouth shut. I might consider myself to be a calm person, but that doesn't mean I will laugh and giggle through stupid stuff. The actual crash happened at a speed that could have killed us if I swerved in the wrong direction. I was driving on a country road and could have frontally hit a car coming from the other direction, as the speed at which the crash happened was around 40 miles per hour / 65 kilometers per hour, particularly in part on childhood trauma. I've mentioned that to my now ex-girlfriend around 3 months into our relationship, but as many pointed the obvious, I wasn't dating the sharpest tool in the shed, and it took me a while to realize it. So I guess I might be a bit dumb as well. I think I might have misused the term ghosting in my head. Telling her to get out of my house was a clear sign of our relationship status. Now, to the actual update. After reading nearly all the comments, I took the decision to send my ex a message where I told her we should meet face to face. Some people suggested I should file for a lawsuit, but my ex is still in uni and her parents can barely afford helping her. She obviously has done an insanely dumb stunt, but I don't want to punish her parents for it. The car is in the process of getting fixed and I can afford it without major financial issues. Still, I took screenshots of her messages in order for me to have some proof in case the situation escalates. So we met earlier at a coffee shop. She looked as if she'd been crying for a long time, but it didn't change my mind at all. What shocked me was the fact that she leaned in for a kiss when she saw me, as if nothing happened. I stopped her and told her that we need to have a serious conversation. I explained that what happened wasn't because of the car itself, but because of her disrespecting my boundaries and not thinking for a second about what might happen if she did that thing. Besides that, I also felt disrespected by the fact that her best friend came knocking at my door to demand things, despite not having any rights to do so, which led me to ask my ex if she told her best friend the truth or if she lied about the situation. She said that she only told her friend that we had a small car crash and I'm pissed at her. Hearing that made me feel disappointed as hell, but I did my best to remain calm. I told her to tell the real story to her friends and family, and she raised her voice and told me that I'm accusing her of being a liar, something that led to a 15-minute discussion about how the crash was solely her fault and how she put our lives at risk. I asked her if everything's clear to her about our situation, and her response was, "Yep, 100%. Can we go home now?" That honestly shocked me. I told her there's no way we can get back together, and I suggested she should be more careful and considerate with her future partner. Her reaction was all tears, shaking, begging me to reconsider my decision. I just can't look at her the same. I explained again that for me, it wasn't a small mistake she made, it was a full-on stupid decision that shouldn't be done by an adult, as it could have resulted in something deadly. She just thinks I'm exaggerating, and this back and forth argument led to her asking if there's someone else in my life, and I'm just using the accident as an excuse. I denied and told her that she's too selfish to even realize that she broke my trust and disrespects me by saying this crap. I left the coffee shop feeling like I've been talking to a wall, but at least I can't say that I didn't try to have a conversation. An hour ago, a mum texted me asking what happened, and I told her everything. I said that I don't want any money from them, but the only thing I'm asking for is for my ex to keep her distance from me. She apologized for what her daughter did and wished me all the best. As for her friend, from my understanding, she just came to my house without talking to my ex on whether she should do it or not. So I guess she just tried to be the main character in this whole story. Right now I'm preparing for work, but my chest isn't heavy anymore. In case anything will happen in the future, I'll keep everyone updated, but I hope it won't be the case. Lol. Thank you for helping me navigate this weird situation, and thanks for all the kind messages. Hope everyone stays safe. Edit. Sorry this wasn't the drama-filled update some people might have expected, but I came here with a desire to get some perspective on my situation and be as transparent as possible. I never intended to post this story for votes or anything like that. And again, absolutely you did the right thing in this situation. It sounds like from very early on in your relationship that she doesn't respect much of your wishes. You told her about the tickling thing several times, she continued to do it. When you met up after all this happened, she tried to kiss you immediately and thought your relationship was just going to go back to normal. That's weird. So yeah, absolutely the right decision in my opinion, and I hope you get your car repaired soon. It sounds like you do like it a lot. But now I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and let's move on to another story. Now, our next story comes from Haunting Wing 8451 and says, am I the arsehole for being distant from friends over their daughter's name? I, 35 female, Anne, am longtime friends with a married couple, 40 male and 42 female. I've been distant since the pandemic when their daughter was born, and they just confronted me about it about an hour ago. I started distancing when the husband started judging me for not making my marriage work. There are extreme reasons I left that I never really broadcast for my children's sake. Some was very public, which I addressed, but the rest I've kept quiet. But the most recent issue is that I lost a child when I was 18. She was born alive but survived only a few hours. I chose a name for her that I confided in them. That was very special to me, a play on family names, but appropriate for a very unexpected and traumatic loss. They used the name for their daughter. I would have no issue with this, but I found out in the Facebook announcement, which brought back some painful and traumatic memories. I didn't say anything. I don't own the name, but I felt very disrespected that they chose not to even give me a heads up, especially as many in our friend circle know where they got it, and I was put on the spot as far as my reaction. So I just distanced myself from them. Well, about an hour ago I got a message from him that was very angrily worded. Apparently, he'd been talking to a mutual friend about me and how I've shown no interest in their daughter. And he mentioned that them using the name without a heads up was very painful for me, and that had put me on the spot because a lot of people had been asking for my reaction. He called me selfish and an arsehole for trying to sully their joy with my pain and making everything about me, and that I should just get over it. She passed years ago. In my opinion, losing a child is something you never truly get over, and I was never rude. I never spoke badly of them or to them. I won't talk about it with anyone. I've just chosen to protect myself and remain distant. I wanted them to enjoy their daughter. They struggled with infertility for years, and I'm happy for them. It's just painful for me, and I feel very disrespected with how they handled it. Am I the arsehole? Was I wrong to create distance in a 20-year friendship over this? Or was my reaction reasonable? Info. They use both the first and middle name down to the spelling. The only difference is the last name. The name was a made-up mix of my mum and grandpa's names, and the middle name was my nickname from them as a child. My mum passed when I was a child, and my grandpa, who raised me after my mum passed 3 months before my daughter did. I know in these stories there's always the comments like, you don't own a name, etc. But putting myself in like the couple's shoes, and let's say my friend lost a child and with a name which sounds like had a big meaning behind it, you know, with the mum and the grandpa and the middle name as well. This isn't just something they've plucked out the air. It's not something that I would consider doing to a friend at all. At the bare minimum, speaking to OP first and seeing how they feel about it in some kind of way. But I can only question what the fuck's going through their mind at the moment. That's just like, and especially the comment as well, you should just get over it. She passed years ago. Gee whiz. That is no friend. Bingo Bongo quotes the same point and says that this person is not your friend. Time to distance yourself permanently. Not the arsehole. OP responds saying I haven't responded to his email. I'm waiting until I'm calmer, but I can't say I plan to be kind. There will definitely be a clear boundary that they are never to contact me again. I wish them well, but they definitely do not continue to have any place in my life. Badass Mills says not the arsehole. That's just crazy, honestly. People are so numb. The fact that you distance yourself shows that you're not trying to make it about you and sully their joy or whatever. Get rid of them. Terrible people. I'm sorry that happened to you. And Sahar says, did I read it right that someone told him how you felt? And now longtime friend has an attitude towards you, though you never told this friend how you felt. You actually distanced yourself about their judgment towards you, and that you should let him know that is the reason. And it didn't have the situation about learning on Facebook. Opie says, yeah, you read that right. I never said anything to them. I didn't want to hurt them, but I did tell a couple of other friends how I felt when they checked on me. One of those friends is who I told them why I've been distant. The judgment against me had me feeling some type of way, but I just ignored it for the most part. The way they named their daughter though, I couldn't ignore and I just stopped all contact. Commenter replies that and says they can't argue that they had no idea how it would affect you. You didn't go off on them or make some vague book post on it. They didn't like being called for not giving you the courtesy of at least letting you know. It's one thing to run into a child that you have no connection to, but something completely different to see a child in your social circle with the same name. It was wrong, and they can't take the heat of judgment. So Opie put the update within the same post and says update. So everyone's over at the house, and I mean everyone. Both of my friend groups came over. A friend, D, I sent the screenshot to last night, called everyone, and they were all furious. Her husband, M, called the former friend, A, and let him know that everyone is cutting ties with him, and that he is to leave me alone. Everyone was under the consensus that while the way they handled the name was an issue, it wasn't a deal breaker since I just chose to remove myself and let it go. However, since he chose to attack me unprovoked, simply for keeping a healthy distance, that's unforgivable. This is entirely their own reaction. I did not demand they cut ties with him. However, keep in mind that these are the people closest to me. When I called D last night, I was simply reaching out for support and to calm down because my knee-jerk reaction was to say, if you want to go low, I'll go lower, which is very out of character for me. I made it very clear that I was not continuing any contact with A and his wife, but I was not going to dictate their friendships and love them, whether they stay friends with them or not. And that was Opie's only update on the post. But now I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and let's move on to another story. Now this story is from NoBlackberry3107 from the Am I the Arsehole subreddit. No update as yet. And it says, am I the arsehole for disinviting a friend from an event after she gave my ticket to her sister? Back when Eras tour tickets were released, my friend Sadie said she would grab us tickets and I'd pay her back. We made concrete plans and I was excited. I've been a Swiftie for years but haven't seen her live. I had to sell my Rep Stadium tour tickets back in 2010s because my mum was dying and I needed the money to help pay medical bills. I booked the hotel. This past weekend I was having a little get together for a bunch of friends and Sadie was of course invited. At some point she pulled me aside and told me that she had news. She's leaving in September. I was heartbroken. We've been friends for years and I love spending time with her. I got weepy and hugged her a bunch and said that we need to get all of our thrifting trips in over the summer and hang out as much as we could. Then she broke the news that as a way to bond with her sister before she left, she was going to be taking her to Eras Tour instead. I didn't know how to react. She stood in front of me and Venmo'd me my payment back. She was like, I know you understand. I said that this was a sneaky move and honestly really shitty of her. I didn't understand how or why she would do that to me. She got defensive and said that they were under her name and that she didn't owe me anything. I was like, yes, they are your tickets. Legally you can do whatever you want, but this is still a really shitty and sneaky thing to do to your friend, knowing that there is no way I'll be able to get my own tickets at this point. She just kind of shrugged and said, sorry, but I figured you'd understand. I asked her to leave and told her to please not come back for the 4th of July party next week. I said I needed to process this and I'm really disappointed with her and how she's treated me. This is a girl who I consoled through breakups, job losses, pet losses, etc. She looked shocked and asked if I was serious. She ended up stomping off and leaving and texted me later to tell me that she's around if I want to apologize for making her feel bad about taking her sister on a bonding trip. I'm honestly heartbroken that I'm going to be watching my show on a grainy live stream instead of being there in the stadium with everyone. I was looking forward to this so much. I checked the resale sites and had a sad little cry about it. I'm wondering if I'm completely wrong to have just uninvited her. Is that too far? If it was in, say, a month or two, I don't think I would have. I just need time. Hi everyone, and thank you for your responses so far. I just wanted to follow up by saying that I appreciate the sentiment, but I'm not going to sue her over this. I don't really think that is a normal reaction or something that I would enjoy doing. Please don't hate me. So, little petty me's coming out in this one straight away, because I remember in the first paragraph, OP said that they booked the hotel. He. And look, this is a really shitty thing to do, and what she said to you is like, I don't owe you anything. Just seems like a real shitty thing to say to your friend. And in my opinion, that ticket was yours because she Venmo'd you the payment back. You paid for that ticket. Again, in the first paragraph, she's saying she would grab us tickets and I'd pay her back. You know, the plans were made. I'm just going to read one comment from Ron Stoppable88 who says, not the arsehole. You had an agreement. She buys the ticket and you pay her. She bought the tickets. You paid her. She owes you a ticket. Yes, she refunded you, but you had been successful in small claims to sue for breach of contract. The remedy would be to enforce the contract or award damages, which would be the difference in cost between what the original ticket was and what they are now. Did you get a refund for the hotel? If not, then she straight up fucked you over. You've been a really good friend to me. I know you're really excited for the concert. I know you paid me and I know you booked the hotel. But here's your money back and I'm giving the ticket to my sister. I know you'll be disappointed and I know you can't afford the scalp prices. But I think you understand that I'm a terrible friend. Absolutely. Imagine doing that to your friend. That's wild. But now I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? How should OP deal with it? Is there the possibility of small claims? Okay, as always, I'm no legal expert. I didn't know anything about that sort of stuff. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Now, just a huge thank you from the bottom of my heart for getting involved in today's stories. Your love, your support, your time always means the absolute world to me. So thank you so much. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Take care and much love.